Hey friends, it's Jennifer. Welcome to the Real Knitting Podcast. This is episode 8 and I am so glad you're here today. I'm glad to catch up with all of you. Let's start talking about a little knitting. First of all though, what knits am I wearing? Nothing. It is 88 degrees outside right now and has been for a while. For those of you, my Canadian and British friends and other countries, that means it's 31 degrees Celsius. So it's been kind of hot and steamy. It's pretty muggy here. I am enjoying knitting on like socks and stuff because it's pretty hot outside. I turned the air off long enough to film this, so we'll see how long that lasts. I don't like the noise of it. It makes quite a bit of noise, so we'll see how long I last. Also, my hair is wet, but I was running out of time today, so apologies. To the knitting. So I thought for sure that I was going to have a finished object for you. I thought for sure. I was so close. But last time I showed you this precious little sweater, the sailor stripe pullover, for my little boy, for little John that we're getting ready to adopt. And I've done pretty good with it. I thought I've got all the pieces done. It's my first seamed sweater. So I've done quite a few sweaters, but never one that you have to seam all the pieces together. It's a top-down raglan. It's in this little book, 60 Quick Knits for Little Kids by Cascade. And it's got all these different pieces to it. And I was so excited that I got all my pieces ready, and I was getting ready to, all I had to do is block it and then I could seam it. But let me show you what happened. So here's all my pieces. I think it goes this way. This is the back. I didn't do the stripe, obviously. This is Ella Rae's Classic Heathers color number 176. I did it on a size 6 needle on my sweet little copper DPNs from Licky. And, oh, I even have a ball band for you. Kind of a torn ball band, but there we go. Classic Heathers, Ella Rae Classic Heathers. And I was all excited. I had all 4 pieces done. And I went to block my sleeves. And I'll show you what happened. Look at this. I don't know what I did. Somewhere along the way, I guess I did too many rows somewhere. I don't know. But I think what I can do is, this is the longer one. This is the second one that I did. This is the left sleeve. I'm sorry, I just hit the table. I'll quit doing that. This is a left sleeve. And this is the right one. And I did the right first. And I have several inches. I don't know what happened. But anyway, I think I'm going to rip back the left sleeve down to about right here. About where my decreases begin, and start there, because I think that they're pretty close otherwise. Actually no, it's wider too. It's wider by a couple of stitches. Most of my knitting mistakes come because I can't count. Let's just be honest. I just can't count, and I think a lot of that has to do with ADHD. Because I'm not paying attention, but I will not use that as an excuse. I just don't count. I don't count very well. So, yeah, I have to do sleeve number 2 over again. But anyway, I'm still pretty happy with that. I love this sweet little color, and I'll get it done eventually. But I thought I was going to have it ready to show you today, so I'm a little sad. I have made a little bit of progress on Jamesy's socks. Now these are the Socksy Lady, Diamond Luxury Socksy Lady yarn, and I'm doing it on size 0 carbons DPNs. I love these carbons because I don't break them. Is the main thing. I did a whole review on the carbons on my channel though, if you want to see kind of my thoughts there. But here's his little sock. It's so sweet. It's got a lot of pooling. You can see the kind of this zigzag pooling. If this was a sock for me, I might not want to leave it that way because that's pretty intense pooling. But I think for a little boy, a little zigzag pooling is really cool. And I've gotten it almost to the bind off. Y'all know last time I had to rip it out and make it larger because kids got big feet. I mean, I don't know if you can tell compared to my head. It's some big feet. He's going to be a big old kid. He's 7. But they're super soft, and I just did a top down heel flap and gusset. I did do a little eye partridge heel, which is no big deal, especially since it's just a short little heel for him. So there we go, just a pair of like little shorties for him to run around in. And here's the ball. Yeah, I love all those colors. And apparently I hand wound this one day. I don't know. I don't remember things. All right. And of course, it is living in my little JoJo bag from Cozy Up Knits. There we go. And then the only other thing that I've been working on are the socks on my little 9-inch circulars. And I have a question for you. Okay, so last time I showed you the tiny little 9-inch circulars. And I started this sock, and I don't remember the dyer, but I do remember that it's called Tinsel Tree, I think. But here's my tiny little 9-inch circular. That is a 1, but it looks teeny baby. And I think it's because it is on. Anyway, but I really like the cord. This is a Chow-Goo, and I'm really enjoying that cord that's on them. And I don't mind working in the tiny circumference with the tiny little needles. I've been pretty happy with that. But here's my question. When you all do a top-down sock, or I guess either way, when you do the heel, do you put stitches on hold with another needle, or do you do something different if you're doing a 9-inch circular? It just looks weird to me. I've started it. I'm kind of debating. I've only done a few rows of the heel, and I'm kind of debating trying the Fish Lips Kiss heel. If you haven't heard of Fish Lips Kiss or FLK heel, it's really super popular, and supposedly it's pretty easy. I haven't done it yet. I've just heard about it. I've heard really good things about it. But I bought that a while back, and I just haven't tried it yet. I'm thinking about just pulling back and doing that. I don't know. But what are your thoughts? Those of you who use the little bitty 9-inch circulars, how do you do your heels? So there's the sweet little sock. I love the yarn. I wish I could give credit to the dyer, but I don't remember at all who that was. So really, those are the only things that I've actually been knitting on. So, of course, I'm dying to cast on something else. So what do you cast on? A sweater, of course. But I haven't gotten that far because there's so many options. I got down a Ravelry rabbit hole this weekend. Actually, it was just this morning. But it was hours. Hours. This is why I'm running out of time, because I got totally distracted down Ravelry rabbit hole. Anyway. So I got in my stash, and I've got a couple of different yarns that I've got sweater quantities of. One of them is this Solstice Plymouth by Plymouth yarn. I can't even read it. It's 60% baby alpaca, 25% extra fine merino, and 15% yak. Y'all, I don't know if I've ever had such a fancy yarn. I found this on sale when Friends and FIBERWORKS, I'm going to write that down so I can link it. Friends and FIBERWORKS in Asheville closed their shop and moved across town. if you don't know, Friends in FIBERWORKS are the people who host SAFF, the Southeastern Animal Fiber Festival. It's so amazing. I'm hoping to do like a vlog kind of a deal when I go to SAFF this year, so everybody can get a good feel of who's there and what's there, and it's great fun. It'll be, I think it's in September-ish, usually. But Solstice, Solstice is, I don't know if you can tell, it's a chainette yarn. And to me, when it's relaxed like this in the ball, it really looks like it could be like a sport weight. I mean, it looks like it could be like a worsted or maybe even an Aran, just because it's fluffy. But if you look, when I pull on it, when I put any tension on it at all, it really shrinks down. And that's that chainette construction. So I actually have a lot of this. I have, what did I decide I have? These are 50 gram balls, but I have like, what did I come up with? 8 of them? I have quite a few. So I found out they're 50 gram balls with 219 yards per 50 grams. So that actually works out to be more like a fingering weight. Am I understanding this right? Or is that more like a sport? Anyway, I've kind of been looking at patterns for this one. It is so soft. And I did a swatch. And of course now I can't find it. But I did a swatch for this. And seriously, this is luxury yarn. I'm really enjoying this yarn already. I did a swatch for it several months back. And I don't know where it is. But I do know that I loved it, that it was super crazy soft. And because I have so many yards, I think what I want to do is a longer cardigan. So I was looking up a couple of things, and I'll pop the pictures in here, but I was looking up a couple of things. Tweedy Fog from Sweater Freak looked like my jam. It's got like elbow patches. It's really cute. There's one called Top Copy, Topkapi by Catherine Salter Bayar, and it's got like almost like a little frilly skirt in the back of the cardigan. I'll put a picture of the back of it here. That might be a little fancy for me, but it was really pretty. I don't know. I like it. It's in crazy bright colors, so it's hard for me to really envision my soft grayish color. I don't even know what color this is, but it's kind of like a oatmeal-y gray. And Wisteria Cardi, and the back of it is stunning. So I don't know if I really have the brain space for that right now. I feel like there's a lot going on in life, and I will talk about that toward the end. I don't know if I'm up for it, but yeah. Pretty excited about this. Another one that I've wanted to do, but it's more like a DK pattern, is the Comfort Fade Cardi by Andrea Mowry. I mean, I know this is obviously not going to fade, but possibly. I don't know. Anyway, I'm very open for pattern suggestions because, oh, the cozy, the snuggliness. I'm really pleased with that. I just realized I'm kind of far back from you guys as I shake the entire house. Okay. The other yarn that I was looking into is this big bad boy right here. He's huge. He's floofy. It's because he's Aran. This is Louisa Harding Yarns Trinzar, and it's merino wool and superfine alpaca. It also has lyocell and acrylic. So, yeah, you can see it's kind of this like shiny, tweedy, but it's not tweed. It's not like little flecks of, which is what tweed is. The shiny part of the yarn is actually barber poled around the core, which I guess the core is, wool, and then the wool and alpaca, and then there's some lyocell is probably the shiny parts, but it's really pretty. And this is another kind of pricier, not pricier, but like, I don't know, it was $20 for a ball. It's kind of high. The Solstice was $24 for 50 grams, which to me is kind of high. Okay, but this one's a full 100 grams, and I have 4 of these. No, that's not enough for a sweater, you say. I know this, but it's enough for a sweater vest or a little cropped, you know, like my my love note. I have 2 love notes now, and I wear them all the time. So now I'm like, what can I do with 4 balls of DK? Or, I'm sorry, Aran. So I really dug around. I found a few things. The Mariposa tee by Michelle Miller is stunning, but I think it's a worsted weight. The Seven Sisters top is beautiful. Sloan, I can't read my own writing. Sloan Laessi. I don't think I could pronounce it even if I did know. And then Etta by Allison Green. And the Reunion Cardi. I'm kind of leaning toward this one because I could make it short sleeved and I think I'd have plenty. And just the texture in it, just the way it looks, I think it would really lend itself to this yarn. But it's by Brienne Moody. But then, for pretty much anything I've chosen, I'm kind of like, okay, this yarn, I don't know if it would do cables or anything well. If you've used this, please let me know. The Trenzar yarn. I don't think it would do cables or anything well. I think I would do better to do just stockinette. So I was thinking, well, maybe I could modify this to be short sleeved, or modify that to be short sleeved, or modify this to be a little narrower in the waist. Because my love notes are really wide and they look really cute, but I want something that's not so wide, especially because I just don't have very much of this yarn. But then I kind of thought, well, if I'm going to do all that adjustments to the pattern, I could just write my own pattern, right? Because, you know, I do that. But I haven't been doing that lately. Again, life is wild, and ADHD, squirrel. So what I remembered was I've started a pattern. Here's the swatch. This was a pattern for a sweater vest that I started. I guess I started it back in the spring. I love these little slip stitch. They're actually kind of more like a slipped cable stitch. It's really interesting. But yeah, there's my swatch for a sweater vest. And well, there's actually a piece of it that I've been working on. But I kind of quit working on it. This is Simply Worsted by Haiku. Look at that color. Yeah, I know, it's the same. It's the same color as my Cumberland Mountain Cowl, and it's exactly the same as my Cumberland Mountain Cowl, and it's almost exactly the same as my my second love note, but it's my color. It's just my color. So anyway, the sweet people at Haiku sent me some yarn to dye with. Now I've had this for a little while now, but maybe I need to get back to designing, because this one's been on my brain for a while. It kind of, what happens with a design is that it kind of burns a hole in my head. Like, I have to write it down. I don't know. Does anybody else like that? Like, you have to do something? I don't know. Anyway, I promised you a giveaway last time. So, I have not drawn, so hold on. So I just did the entire rest of this podcast with my microphone unplugged. So if any of you were under the insane notion that I'm anywhere near perfect, there you go. So back to it. Back to the giveaway. Our giveaway is, for this week, it is 2 skeins of Malabrigo Rios in the Archangel colorway. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. I just haven't knit with it, and I thought, what a wonderful giveaway. And it's so squishy. I don't have to tell you how amazing Malabrigo is. Wonderful yarn. So there's that. There is a little Sheepy Notions pouch, and I love the little pom-pom that's on the zipper. Isn't that cute? And then finally a book called Play, and it's ideas, exercises, and little ways to add more fun to every day. So I did random number generator on our comments. Anybody who commented could enter. And Rebecca Cook, you won! Yay! So Rebecca, message me on Instagram, and we'll get you on there. We'll get it taken care of. I don't know if you can private message on YouTube. Is that true? Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, Instagram, I'm Mountain Legacy Designs. I'm thinking about changing that. What do you think? What do you guys think if I totally rebrand as Real Knitting? Anyway. Also, here's my new business cards. These are for the podcast. This is my little logo. Isn't she adorable? So I used to have an Etsy shop where I sewed reusable items like for kitchen and bathroom and stuff. I even had reusable toilet paper. Whole different discussion. If you're interested, I'm happy to discuss. But anyway, I paid for this little girl to be made as part of my part of that shop, but I added to her these little knitting needles and a little ball of yarn. So that's my podcast logo, and I may start popping up a little thing about that, but I had some little business cards made. So I'm thinking about rebranding all of my stuff as Real Knitting. Let me know your thoughts. If you don't know, I bought realknitting.com. Seriously, it was like a couple of weeks before those guys announced that they had bought knitting.com. So that's why this podcast is named that, because those guys started buying up like Real Knitting on TikTok or whatever. And I wanted to make sure that I kind of captured this name on YouTube for my channel. So there we go. We're Real Knitting now. But my designs are Mountain Legacy Designs. Let me know. Do we have any marketing people? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Okay, next is our yoga. So last time we did some finger stretches with our hands. This time we're going to just move down and do some wrist rolls. It's quick and easy. We're going to clasp the hands together like this, and then just take the wrists around in a circle, and then take them back around the other way, just to keep the wrists lubricated and free. Quick little yoga. So now on to kind of some life stuff. I told you last time that I was going to a fiber thing, and I thought I was, but it wasn't really a fiber thing. It was really more a women's thing. It turned out to be, it was a women's circle up on top of this mountain. The view was breathtaking. I can't even explain it. Breathtaking. So I'll pop a picture in, but photographs cannot do this view justice. It was on top of a mountain in a little town called Zionville, North Carolina. It's outside of Boone, which is kind of outside of Asheville. For those of you that aren't around here, it is outside of outside of outside. It's out there. And it was the most beautiful thing. she had just set up a table with like doilies and things and put out, she had some music going, she had a campfire, and we all sat around in a circle, brought our own chairs, sat around in a circle and talked or knitted or just enjoyed being in God's beautiful nature. So I got to thinking, and my friend Melissa, who is a fiber friend, she came with me, and we were talking, why can't we just have some of our fiber buddies get together like that? So I thought about my husband's property, which I've mentioned before. This is an old painting somebody did of the property. It's at the base of a mountain here locally, and it's a beautiful farm, and there's plenty of space to do something like this. And the view is not quite the same, but it's pretty nice. And I talked to my husband about it, and he was like, let's wait till I build my composting toilet. He is wanting to do hip camp. Do any of you guys do hip camp? I'd never heard of it until he came home saying he wanted to do it. So I think we're going to have some tent camping sites, maybe an RV site or two. I'm not sure. But anyway, there's not really a great place to go to the restroom over there, and we don't want to bother his mom or his sister like that. So I thought until we get that taken care of, I can host it at our church's the grounds there, because our church actually owns quite a bit of land, and it's beautiful, and we can have it in the shade and all that sort of thing. I work at the church 3 days a week, and so I just decided that instead of going the fiber route, that I'm going to take it more like the women's circle that I went to where it's just women, and you bring your handcrafts or your mending, or you can just come and talk and hang out in the shade one evening. And so I have that scheduled. It's more of a church thing this time, but if that goes well, I might also have a fiber evening, like one night a month. I don't know. I do this thing where I take on too much stuff. I plan and do too many things, so I kind of need to back off. Or at least just not overcommit all at once, because I get excited. Speaking of which, of me overcommitting, this week has been crazy. So Sunday, well, back up. 2 weeks ago, my sister came into town. She has 3 boys. They are 18, 16, and 9, I think. And they come up for camp. There's a church camp not far from us. It's actually up in Virginia, but it's about an hour away, and they come up for that. And my sister stays for a couple weeks with my parents, and that's kind of their summer thing. And so the big guys were at camp last week, and so it seemed like anytime I wasn't at work, I was taking my kids over to play with Zachary, her youngest, who's 9, and let them see Aunt Steph a little bit, and that was a lot of fun. And then this week, so Sunday, the little ones went to camp. So it's like the preteen version. Well, typically kids are like 8 to 9 when they go, but because James had gone for a retreat, they let him come for the whole week. Now he's just 7. So mommy was a little nervous, but daddy was going to be up there with him at night. My husband works like halfway between here and there. And so he would just drive like 30 minutes the other direction instead of 30 minutes our direction, and he'd be able to stay at camp and help with camp and everything. So we took them up to camp, and we didn't get back until kind of late that night. So that was Sunday. Monday, I went with my mom and sister to see Downton Abbey. If you're a Downton Abbey fan, you just have to go see it, because I mean, it's Downton Abbey, and it's pretty sweet. And then so that was Monday night. I skipped Kung Fu to go up there, so I haven't been to Kung Fu yet this week. And then Tuesday, I taught a knitting class, and y'all, it was so precious. I got to help a guy knitter pick out his first sweater quantity of yarn to make a sweater for his little 3-year-old. Yay! It was so fun. So that was great. And I taught 2 classes. I had a Thai client. Everything was really kind of busy on Tuesday, of course. And then Wednesday I worked at the church. Then I took John, my little one, and my mother-in-law up to camp to visit James and Scott. And that was, it was great fun, but we didn't get home until 9:45 Wednesday night. And poor little John, typically he falls asleep in the car. I have no idea what happened. I don't know if he was just excited or what. I keep hitting the table. I apologize. But he didn't go to sleep until 10 o'clock last night, y'all. That's really tough on a 2-year-old. And then this morning, of course, because he's John and it's what he does, he came and got me at like 5:30. I will admit to y'all, I handed that child a tablet with some shows he's allowed to watch, and I went back to bed. And he let me for about an hour. And I'm so grateful. So grateful. So I'm really tired, and I was planning on going up to camp again tonight, but it's just been constant. And so I'm trying to do a little self-care and not get to a place where I'm too tired. Plus, if I don't do laundry soon, we're all going naked. Okay, not really. But it is almost 90 degrees outside, so maybe we should. I don't know. But I'm not going. I've done a little bit of laundry today. I had to do some things to help my mother-in-law with some legal stuff, and and then I wasted time on Ravelry. But it wasn't wasted, was it? Anyway, so that's today. Tonight, I'm not going up there. I'm not taking John up there. My mother-in-law is going to keep him long enough for me to do my Kung Fu class. Yes. And super excited about being able to go back to that again. But it's been wild. And I feel like that exacerbates my ADHD when I don't have a chance to be home. In yoga, we call it grounding, and just being able to settle. Just this running here and there is it gets me all wound up. Anyway, this is Thursday. Tomorrow, when I post this, you won't see it till Friday. Tomorrow we're going to celebrate little John's 2nd birthday. It's not quite his birthday yet, but we're going to celebrate it at Mom and Dad's so that Stephanie and the boys can be here for it. And I've got to get a little cake. And where I'm on Whole30 and my sister's also on a diet, I think what I'm going to do is cut a watermelon. You may have seen these on Pinterest. I'm going to cut a watermelon like in a cake shape and then blend up coconut milk and vanilla and maybe some sort of fruit to make kind of an icing and sort of ice the watermelon so that we have something that's like our special dessert. I don't know. We shall see. I probably won't get that done today. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. Because I got to work tomorrow. But anyway, it's just been wild. I mentioned that I'm on Whole30. If you aren't familiar with Whole30, this is the 3rd time I've done it. Whole30 is a diet. It's meant to be like a health reset. Most people do lose weight on it, but that's not its main goal. Its main goal is to help you kind of jumpstart eating better. I have a serious sugar addiction. I like all the sweets. I like cookies and cakes and pies and candy and just junk. I love it. And I can tell because it's changed my weight quite a bit, and I just don't feel like myself anymore. I used to eat a lot healthier, and I just really want to get back to that. So I've done Whole30 before. This time is way easier because I've done it before, because I kind of know what I'm doing. And also I am including legumes, which are not typically included. And I think that's helped me, just provided me the protein, because I can't eat the eggs. I react pretty hard to eggs. I was off of eggs for several years and decided to go back on them and just slowly introduced them back into my diet, and I was doing okay. And so with Whole30, where you don't have any breads, any grains, any of that sort of thing, it's pretty much fruits, vegetables, meats, and eggs. All uncured meats, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people will do eggs for breakfast. So I was pretty egg heavy the first few days. That was bad. I had reflux, I had tummy troubles, just bloating. I was really uncomfortable. So I've had to get back off the eggs. I'm trying to figure out what to do about a breakfast thing. So I have started doing a smoothie, and I love smoothies in the summertime. I can't do them in the winter, it's too cold, but here's my new smoothie thing. I'm trying this Bountiful Beets stuff. It's not sponsored. I'm not sponsored. But anyway, Bountiful Beets, it is 3 beets per serving. Now, I hate beets. I think they're gross. But they're a superfood, and they're really good for your circulation and stuff. And as I age, I'm more aware of like just taking care of my body. So Bountiful Beets, I'll link it below. I have a Thrive Market account. If you would like a discount off of Thrive Market, message me privately, I guess through Instagram, and I will get you, I'll email you or text you a code for them, and you can get 40% off, and I'll get a credit over there too. But I will also link this directly from Amazon, because I looked and it's only like $15, which is pretty good for 30 servings. I don't know, 50 cents a day to help you feel better. So here's my smoothie recipe, and you don't worry about writing this down, because I'll print it below. Make myself a note. Smoothie. Okay, so here's my smoothie recipe. Every day I have one of those small things that only makes just the one smoothie. You don't have to make a big blender full. So I start off every time with frozen spinach. So this gets my greens in, and it gives me that cold, icy, it gives me a good texture for it to be a smoothie. So I start with that. Then I do a bunch of almond milk, then unsweetened, of course, and then a scoop of my beets. I do a scoop of protein powder, which isn't technically Whole30, but it's pretty close. This protein powder is called Tone It Up Proteins and Greens. And I know it's got some sweeteners, but they're natural. It's like monk fruit and stevia, I think. Then I do some kind of fruit. So either like frozen berries, or today I did fresh raspberries because I had them. They were kind of going bad. I've done half a banana. Just something to be a little sweeter so that the beets don't kill me, because they're pretty tart. Let's see. Oh, and then hemp seeds. I put a scoop of hemp seeds, and I put a scoop of flax seeds in there, and it makes a really pretty smoothie because it's really bright because of the beets. But it's a very healthy smoothie. So anyway, I will link that below. If you have any questions about Whole30, this is my 3rd time around. That doesn't make me an expert, but I'm happy to talk about it. So let me know. I'd love to hear your opinions on a couple of things down below. So 1, what should I cast on? Because I'm ready. 2, should I rebrand as Real Knitting or just let it lie? Right now I'm Mountain Legacy Designs because all of my designs are inspired by our local area. The East Tennessee, Upper East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and the tip of North Carolina is all right here together, and that's where all my designs are. They kind of take their time from. So let me know those things, but also just any comments. I'm happy to hear from you, and I hope you have a good couple of weeks. If you have an idea for a video you'd like me to make, let me know. I've kind of done a YouTube experiment to see if just doing my podcast would be good, or if I do need to keep making those videos in between. And I think based on viewership and all the numbers, I think I need to be doing at least one video a week. And I've got some ideas, but let me know what your ideas are. And thank you all so much for being here today. Bye.